Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rampage Ruins, where Zinker loses his fucking cool.
And I'm gonna say stuff, and I swear it's not racist, no matter how much it sounds or anything. It's all good.
We're in another episode.
I know.
That is not how you begin an episode, Derek. That's the worst thing to be. You literally, that means whatever you say, no matter what it is. You could literally say 2 + 2 = 4. That's racist. It has to be, because you led, especially at the beginning of an episode, with that. Like, what are you trying to do, Derek? YouTube's gonna come at us like, oh my god, these guys slightly dislike cheese or whatever, and they're gonna be like, I don't even know what I'm saying. I lost my improv. I had mojo and I lost it. I didn't have anything with whoever was going. I just want these crystals.
I was talking about the how the Seneca Nation being a sovereign nation
I don't even know what that means.
They are not part of the U.S. They are their own separate nation.
Are they really?
Yes. This is a serious thing that most people on the planet don't know it still exists. There are some tribes still. Some Native American tribes still that are considered sovereign nations that are not technically part of the U.S. That being said, they still have to abide by some things, but not everything. They can't just go commit murder and be like, well, it's not illegal for us.
It's not illegal for us. Okay, well, there's no reason for me to miss that crystal besides you being a dick game. I'm just saying.
So, one of the very beneficial things is we get dummy good health benefits for this casino job.
Really?
Because the casino is owned by the Seneca Nation of Indians, and they actually own 3 casinos in the brand, as also a bunch of restaurants and stuff. But they have like across the 3 casinos they have over 4,000 employees, and the Seneca Nation also has, I think, like about 8,000 registered members, and those registered members, as well as the employees of the casino, are all under the same health insurance cover like plan, sort of, or like carrier. That's the word. So because of that, because they have so many people under this carrier, they were able to negotiate like an amazing amazing benefits and stuff.
Okay.
So we get good health insurance. Also, yeah. So fun fact about the since I'm on the subject. One other thing that about the Seneca Nation is because they own the casino, a lot of the revenue from it goes towards that, like funding the nation, and what the nation does is they use a lot of that money to provide a lot of services and things to the enrolled enrolled members of the nation. Which in order to be an enrolled member, your mother has to have been an enrolled member, basically.
Man, it was itchy. Sorry. Oh my god, that was so
just
itchy.
Just mother, not father.
Just mother, not father. Got it.
Yeah, if your father is, but your mother isn't, then you are not a member.
Wow. Your mother has to be interesting.
A lot of Native American tribes were more they were matriarchies.
Really? That's interesting.
Yes.
I did not know that.
There's a lot.
I don't know anything about Native Americans besides we murdered them all.
That's not. That's also.
Oh God.
That's also not true.
Well, yeah, there's still some alive. We didn't succeed, but which is good, sort of. Well, no, good. Yeah, it's good.
Throughout history, people weren't as bad as it sounds sometimes. A lot of the information you get or at least if you're not in an area that had Native American tribes in it, or like where they weren't as, I guess in some areas they were kind of deleted from history because that was part of the plan at the time, was to like, that was what people trying to remove, they were trying to like remove / assimilate them into, or from history, from like their current ways at the time. That being said, that wasn't the case for every single tribe.
Right.
Like the Senecas were never forced to move out west. They were given a lot of stuff. They were given a lot of stuff from the government. They were allowed to remain still like a sovereign nation. There were times where like boundaries were overstepped, but like if you examine the whole situation, it wasn't just like things weren't as bad as they might seem sometimes. I can think of examples, but I'm not going to go into them right now because I'm already on like 30 levels of tangent.
Yeah. Derek, I don't know, man. We committed genocide to some degree.
Yeah. No, I'm not denying that. I'm just saying it wasn't like, that wasn't like completely what happened.
Why do we just do genocide? Why don't we just murder everyone? Where's the purge? I want a purge.
Me too.
You know what, Derek? Here's a weird question. Nah, I'll save it for the next episode.
We were. I was talking in chat earlier. One of my friends was saying he's concerned he might have appendicitis, and then we were pretty sure he doesn't, but we were talking about it, and at one point I basically said like, yeah, I could get appendicitis and I could die from appendicitis right now. I've lived a fulfilled millennial life.
A fulfilled millennial life. I got student loan debts. We'll never be able to pay it back. I'm solid. My response for that was, or my rationale for how I've lived a fulfilled millennial life was, I'm doing better than 90% of the people I graduated high school with. So. I mean, that's fair. I would agree.
I'm not dead and I haven't murdered anybody, so I'm already doing better than about 10%, at least 10% of my class.
Okay, I lost this because I couldn't get that crystal. This is gonna be the one I don't get. This trip through Rampage ruins is horrible. I hate this.
So
I
anyway,
despise this.
I
don't even know what other ones I'm missing.
Senecas currently, to be honest, Zinker, the Senecas currently have a real good deal going for them. They're not struggling at all.
I'm sure. I don't know. It sounds pretty great.
So because the nation's doing pretty well for themselves, especially with having the casinos, they get in addition to just the nation like will do a lot of stuff when like people need help. So like they help pay for like student loans and stuff for Seneca kids. They provide health insurance and everything. And more importantly, which I didn't realize this number was this high. Seneca's getting a thing called annuity.
What's that?
Every month, Seneca adults get $1,500 from the nation.
Oh, that's cool. Do you get that now? Are you one of them?
No, I'm not a Seneca.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That would have been great for you if that was the case.
The Seneca kids, like anyone under 18, get half that.
Wow. I wish I was a Seneca.
Now this might sound good, but our trainer,
time to go murder someone and wear the skin.
That
sounds bad.
Told us
history.
Told us a very bad. Our Seneca trainer told us a very bad aspect of this, which when you look at it, there are a lot of people. I think one of the current problems with the nation, and our trainer was telling us about this, is there's a good portion. There's a decent amount of people who kind of are consumed by greed.
How? Because they.
She told
money?
us her sisters. were having kids, so they would be able to collect more annuity.
Oh, I feel like that can't possibly work out. I feel like kids have to cost more than $750 a month.
That depends on how well you're treating them. She was neglecting them.
That's fair. I'm neglecting them.
Yeah.
Why didn't I think about that? Oh man.
If you're an enrolled Seneca member and you're married to an enrolled Seneca member and you have 4 kids, that's $6,000 a month.
Yeah. Yeah, that is.
A lot of them don't work. Or
I mean, why would you?
They do work.
$1,500 a month.
They use a lot of that money for alcohol, drugs, and cigarettes. It's a very big problem in that area,
Nice.
in that town specifically. Because I don't know what exactly caused it to start, but if it was just because people had a lot of money and they were able to do it, if
probably.
it's because it was being a sovereign nation made it easier at some point. I don't really know what, but and it's not just Seneca people who have like drug and alcohol problems. Everyone in that area does too.
No one else
a lot of people in
has
that area
drug and alcohol problems besides Seneca. Just fucking people.
It's more just because it's more just because they have an easily like a high. They have a very good income just for literally kind of doing nothing. Just they're making more a month than I am working 50 hours a week.
Yeah, they probably do. Good. I'm doing well for themselves, except for minus the drug and alcohol bit. But besides that.
Well, there've been.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
So it is good that they're able to do well for themselves too, like that, like with the casino and the
that should be the last one I get. Whatever that should be the last one I get. Because
in recent history, like the last 100 years or so, there have been, from what I've heard from history, being in this area, I've heard a lot of Seneca history. There have been, I've heard both sides. Both perspectives of either we were wronged by the government or the government was doing what it needed to. So, and when I say that, which sounds bad, so there was a situation. One, I guess, good example of this situation is in the 30s. Pittsburgh was having huge issues with flooding, where it was just constantly, there was a lot of rain and Pittsburgh literally just constantly kept getting flooded.
Right.
This persisted for, I recall it was for about 30 years or so, where there was just a constant thing that kept happening in Pittsburgh where it get flooded.
I mean, that ruined it anyway, so thanks. Fuck you, game.
Which caused heavy damages, was a lot of money in repairs and everything, or people lose their livelihood. People could lose their livelihoods from it. And so there was a solution brought up there was a solution that was planned for a while, but it didn't come to fruition for a while because of just issues of making it actually happen. Which was they wanted to build a dam in mid-western New York.
Shut up, timer. Thank you. Don't need to fucking not work.
Yeah, to be able to regulate the water flowing down towards Pittsburgh.
All right.
Now, of course, there were more interests other than just that alone. Having a dam like that would allow them to produce hydroelectricity, which is also a good money maker.
Fuck off.
Or
I'm so annoyed with that.
But one of the problems with this was where they wanted to build it was on native land.
Okay.
Where they needed to build it.
I have no idea what we've been talking about for the past 5 minutes at this point. Okay, fuck you, game. Fuck you. Stop doing that.
so there was a problem for a long time where basically the government wanted to take the land away from the natives, from Senecas. I believe it was Seneca, from the Seneca territory.
Fuck, man!
To build this dam.
Stop!
So JFK, around the time JFK was running for president, he told the Senecas, "Hey,
fucking kidding me?
If I'm elected, I will not take your land." And he got elected. Then, for some other business reasons, I think he ended up basically breaking that and taking the land, and they built the dam.
Okay.
They did compensate the Senecas heavily, though, with I think they gave them like $15 million. They gave them houses. They gave them like a ton of other stuff. So like they did like force them to move. They did force like everybody in the area that they were building the dam to move, and like but they also like bought houses for them and all that. They just needed a little area. I
don't know if that necessarily justifies it, man.
So it's a weird morality thing, because they were taking all the stuff. They took a lot of stuff away from people, but the overall end goal of doing so was to basically in the first couple of years it was built. It saved like over like $25 million in damage, or in estimated damage, what they assumed would have been damages in Pittsburgh, like in that area, because it was helping prevent to like regulate water flow down towards that area, and they were able to prevent like that flooding.
Stop doing bullshit. I'm tired of it.
So it's a weird case. It's kind of weird because it hurt a lot of people. I don't know how. I guess it kind of, I guess I would say it still hurt a lot of people. The biggest problem that the Senecas mostly had was that it was their sacred land, where like it's where they originated from. It's where they've been. So to them, the land was like sacred, and they didn't want to lose it.
Oh yeah, it's kind of a dick
it's a weird
thing.
It is, yeah. It's a weird thing where they were
people to do stuff they don't want to do.
It's
even if they
it's a hard morality.
Sticky.
I think it's a hard morality choice, because they did a bad thing to do a good thing.
Yeah, but that doesn't always make the good thing okay, you know? Like if you have to shoot. Oh, yeah. Right, this is the last one. Oh, finally. Whatever. I honestly, I'm not sure where this conversation has gone, and I don't care. I'm out of Rampage fucking ruins. So next time on Speletons,
I don't know where it came from or where it went.
Bye bye.